Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight's stream about Venus um, retrograde in Leo. It's a bit early for that. I mean the live stream, but it won't hurt, I suppose, because that particular ingression happens at the 20 something of July, 22nd of July. Okay, so in about a couple of weeks. And at least according to the cards I drew today about the transit itself, it's gonna hit us into our how do I even put it? Okay, so let's say relationships, right? Productive relationships, corporations. So let's use that term, all right? Corporations. Pretty hard. And there are going to be a few things coming around. Let me show you the cards first, though. They are in the thumbnail as well, but in case you haven't saw it, the first one, that is the Three of Pentacles. Afterwards is going to be the Seven of Wands, and the third one, that will be the Nine of Wands. Okay, so those are the three cards and how it stands in the elemental dignities for the Venus retrograde. So corporations, like I said, that ingression is going to hit us pretty hard there. Now, the first thing that is going to stand out immediately, it is the difference in experience. And in generally, the difference in outlook of the usefulness of the situations that we're going to be involved. So that said, you will see that one thing is useful, one particular pattern is useful to carry on forward. Your partner is going to see another one, so there will be a little bit of a misalignment there. And it always gonna come to that, how much you can support each other into it. So one of you just has to close their eyes and believe in the other. If you can do that, that's great. If your partner can do that, that's great. If both you can't do that, well, then a competition will arise in between you two, and a fruitful cooperation obviously is going to fall apart. So I guess that the Venus retrograde is going to be a test to our willingness, for lack of better expression, to make compromises. Okay? Our willingness to make compromises, and as well to listen and take on critics also, because there will be a fair share of criticism as well within that time frame, due Venus being retrograde. Other than that, it could play it a little bit diminishing role when it comes to already established competition as such. Okay, which is fearsome, and diminish the fierceness, the ferociousness of that particular competition, not because of anything else, because enemy enemy of my enemy becomes my friend. So that's retrograding transit. You and your competition may find something that is enemy to both of you, but this obviously is not going to make you besties by any means. So again, the most important thing here, it seems, it is that this retrograding transit is gonna put an ordeal over our ability to make compromise, and those who can will be the bigger winners, the big winners exiting out of that ingression. All right. Yasmin, thank you for the $20 support. Thank you, Yasmin. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading, how Venus retrograde will affect you personally. And now a few notes about the show before moving forward. There are going to be 12 more readings, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. And bear in mind that these are readings for your star sign. They are not your personal readings, so they are going to affect you to a certain extent. And it is important to listen as well to your ascendant sign and as well to your moon sign. But again, they are not your personal readings, okay? So if you do wish me to interpret for your personal situation, then you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Other than that, if you decide to support the show through whether Super Chat or PayPal, you will have your reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. Rocky, a long time no see. Welcome to the stream. Come as well, Yasmin, Eve, News Devon. Welcome to the stream, girls. All right, so first star sign that we do have on our hands, that will be Aries. You can track on which star sign I'm reading for by observing the glyph being displayed here on my right hand side. All right, so we do have the High Priestess for Aries. Then it is the Lovers. The final one is going to be the Ace of Wands. Okay. Those three cards. And Venus retrograde is going to put a, well, you may take it that way, but it's not going to be exactly that way. So it will put a strain on the flow, which means that it's going to slow things down for you for what those cards here are showing, which pretty much describes that there ain't going to be that many of new enterprises around you, right? You ain't gonna have much things to pick from, much things to choose from, much things to decide to take an initiative or not. But what I do suspect that is going to be, right, is that you are gonna have already a bit too many things on your plate. And that period for you, Aries, Venus retrograde, which should be about few weeks. Hold on a second, let me check it out how long is going to be. To September 3rd. So it's about a month and a half. All right, so that month and a half you can use to pretty much sort your things in order, right? That you already have undertaken. And if it happens that you do start dating at that particular period of time, it's going to take a little bit longer to align, to find the passion to keep on kind of like, I don't know, dating passionately. Because the thing is that under Venus retrograde, if those cards are to be believed for you Aries, if you do start dating, it's going to be because you have nothing better else to do, right? It's going to be for the shits and giggles for you, at least at the start. Nothing serious, but it can become serious. It's just going to take a little bit more time than usual for you. Rocky, thank you for the 27.99 Canadian. Thank you, Rocky. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading. Hey, Sean. Welcome to the stream, mate. Next, we have Taurus. King of Pentacles. Maybe I just wake up, or woke up, rather. Maybe I just woke up. Oh, kidding. How? An hour ago. I woke up an hour ago. Is the Judgment. And the final one, that will be the Six of Swords. So these three cards. And for you, truly is gonna hit you into public relations with these three cards. First important thing it is that you shan't or you should not throw all you got into one basket. What I mean is that you shouldn't put everything you got into a one person. You always must have a backup plan. Okay. For it's gonna be different reasons depending on the situation itself, but also the people that you are gonna have that game giving and taking, for lack of better expression here. It does look like that these people are not gonna require everything from you either, and that is a very common trait, at least around me, where people give everything they got without them being asked about it, and then they feel entitled that the other side should give the same thing, while not required in the first place. Okay, so it will be very important, again, for you, Taurus, when Venus is retrograding, mind you, to establish, how can I put it into words, to establish how much involvement and how much resources you're going to pour into one or another cooperation, whether it's business or romantic cooperation, okay, or a friendship, whatever the case. Otherwise, everything else every surplus is going to be a waste. It's just is not going to be used for anything wasted and not appreciated, not appreciate as well. Another thing that I can tell you here from these cards, it is don't put the greatest hopes you have every time you do have a breakthrough in one of those cooperations. It's just with that Six of Swords next to the King of Pentacles, it doesn't look like that, a miraculous breakthroughs are to be accomplished throughout that month and a half for you. So only what's possible. Okay, the impossible maybe for another time. Sean, thank you for the 10 US dollars. Thank you, Sean. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading. About Venus retrograde and how it will affect you personally. All right, next star sign, we have Gemini. By the way, Sean, on your comment, I never gave a dime how I do look like. Okay. It's just the thing it is that I never give a dime how anything looks like. I don't know if it is for better or for worse, if it is a curse or affliction or a virtue of mine, but I have no eye for aesthetic, right? I have no eye for aesthetic. So, for example, if I date a woman, she can put the most beautiful clothes in the world. It's just is gonna be as same as she is dressing casual. In fact, News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you. What's coming up for you this week? All right, that must be a Lenormand draw though for this question to be answered, because I do suppose you do expect an event to be said. Right. Yeah. For Gemini, Queen of Wands. Natural Antonio Banderas. That's a first being named that. I have been named few other actors though. But thank you. Living Girl. Two of Pentacles. And the Sun. Alright, so Venus, when Venus retrogrades, it will actually be like the so needed chiropractor for your plans and anticipations. Okay, basically whatever within your plans wouldn't work, it's outdated, it has the wrong concept. Okay, and it's just, it goes against your nature, and the nature of your target is going to be pretty much replaced. You have no say in it, right? It's just the replacement is going to come so natural that you may not even, you definitely ain't going to have you definitely ain't going to mind it. Okay, but you wouldn't even kind of like feel any resistance, any resilience from yourself, and that should set you very, very well for accomplishments. Because it does look like that the more that time progresses, you know, Venus retrograde from 22nd of July to 3rd of September, the more you will become convinced into your prevailing whatever you're trying to prevail over. And as far as the, you know, the human interactions comes, you will be the king or the queen in them. Oh, come on, guys. You know, once upon a time, I don't remember how long it was, I remember a person kind of begging me for forgiveness. And my response was, you know, to forgive you, who do you think I am, Jesus Christ? You know, so I don't forgive. That was back then, though. Now I'm a bit more placid. Taco, thank you for the 22 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading. Where were we? Cancer, yeah. All right. The first one, that will be the Five of Cups. Then it's the Judgment. And then it is the Death card. Hey, Sherry, long time no see. Welcome to the stream, girl. So how do I deliver that? I think that one of my lamps is about to explode. It kind of makes that cracking sound. Hopefully it's gonna hold on up until the end of the stream. Anyway, well, in Venus retrograde for you, Cancer, you will see that kind of like there is no point you beating yourself about stuff you're gonna go through, because they ain't gonna matter anyway. Right, so whatever choices kind of led you to certain things that you do, that you are disappointed about, or you think you missed something, all right, or you think you had lost into something, they wouldn't matter, because a long story short, very quickly, probably after the transit itself, they will be replaced with useful stuff, right? So for example, if you lost, say, your relationship because of your decision, you decide to do something for yourself, your partner didn't like it and said we're done, and of course you beat yourself for it, right? You feel guilty that you did something for yourself, God forbid, right? It wouldn't matter, because it's not important, okay? Because that relationship will be replaced with another better, right? So above everything else, I opened the topic for forgiveness, okay? And here, this Venus retrograde for you, Cancer, is above everything else forgiving yourself and releasing everything that it is in flux around you that you just don't need anymore, that doesn't contribute in any way for your well-being. Yeah, it will be a painful severance, for a lack of better expression, but most needed severance, at least for you. So you can kind of like keep on going, because in its core, the decisions that are gonna lead you to that point, they were the right choices. That's what those cards are showing here, right? They were the right choices. Just sometimes you gotta go through unpleasantries, being provoked from the right decisions one's take, so can reach a better times. Right, so that was Cancer. Moving next, we do have Leo. The Lovers, the Star, and the Knight of Wands. I could very well speak for some kind of unfolding love coming your way, right? And well, quite enterprising as well. So there is a very, very big chance, even if you aren't single, which is a bit disturbing here, right? Even if you aren't single, Venus retrograde for you, Leo, to bring you an unfolding romantic love. I remember I had that teacher. It was a philosophy teacher, I believe, in my high school, and she was happily married, but she openly admitted, not one time, but in every suitable occasion, that she doesn't love her husband. She is happily married because he takes care of her, right? Because he satiates her material needs. And she was terrified if one day she actually falls in love. So that could be your situation here, okay? But that not necessarily, right? You may be single and still meet someone that will present the potential for that unfolding love. Bear in mind that it is unfolding one, that is not something happening overnight, so it's going to take quite a long time for you to develop these strong feelings everybody so craves for. And it will require a lot of not action, but how can I interaction, right? So it will require a lot of interaction. You can't, date, go on a date and then a couple of weeks complete silence and quietness from both sides. I mean, you gotta maintain communication every single day, texting, calling, going out, and these kind of stuff. So the things, or rather like so the thing in between you two can work, should these cards are to be believed. If this isn't an unfolding love, then Venus will present you with actually a couple of things. One is a big dilemma. Should you follow your standards or should you choose to cut corners in favor of more, say, enterprising and easy acquisition? And the better thing, though, it is that Venus retrograde actually could mark the end of a pretty troublesome period of time for you. Sherry, thank you for the 11 US dollars support. Thank you, Sherry. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading for Venus retrograde. All right, so that was Leo. Moving next, Virgo. Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and Three of Cups. I don't know if that's true for Virgo. If they are, what is the English word? Hold on a second. They're willing. Let's use that one. So if they're willing to make compromises with themselves, what we have here is that it seems that you are gonna enter uh, in a flow of the common opinion, for a lack of better expression. So, example, in family environment where the majority says something or see things being done in a certain way, even if you do not agree for one or another reason, under the influence of Venus retrograde, you will feel compelled to follow that there. Oh my God. To follow that direction, right? Therefore, some of the actions that if you say so, you know what I mean? You do have a high opinion of yourself. Well, everybody can give you that then. But if you say so. All right, so some of the things that you will be compelled to do may not make perfect sense to you. They most likely they ain't gonna be things you would like doing here, right? But for the sake of the how can I put it into words, a common comfort and as well common emotional calmness, you're gonna have to, because otherwise you do risk can I put it into words, becoming more and more dependent of the situations, okay, and of others as well. Mm-hmm. And for you, Virgo, that particular transit here is all about you kind of suiting. It's not even the needs of others. It's more like fitting within the picture of a society, whether it's your family society or whether it's your love society, whatever the case, right? But it is kind of like fitting in and being a team player, for a lack of better expression. Doesn't matter if you like or not, you want things get done, you want your life to be comfortable, you want your life to be peaceful. That's what you got to do. Of course, at the end of the day, you decide, are you going to be a rebel or a sheep? Because that's what we call here in our country people like that, sheeps that are going with the pack and not following their own free will, for a lack of better expression. Next, that will be Libra. Not the pack, the herd. I believe for sheep is the herd, right? Pack is for wolves. Uh Ace of Swords, first one. Well, like I said, Amelia, you can definitely be a rebel. It is just you will become more and more dependent of the situation, right? Because if you go with the herd, you are always going to have someone to cover you up and to take care of your comfort, of course, on a price of you doing things you want and you like, right? But you definitely can be a rebel. It's just there will be a price to be paid. Six of Cups. And it is the Emperor. Okay. So for you, Libra, Venus retrograde will uncover the true face. It will uncover the true sight and view of your situations. That will be the moment you will be pretty attuned with what you feel, what you want, and what you gotta do. especially if you go or if we focus on the aspect of what you gotta do, a nasty business, right? A nasty business, because I'm gonna put it into words. Your enterprises at that point, okay, your undertakings at that point, uh, will require more of a chores to be executed rather than actually something you would consider productive. But that's going to be exactly the moment and the time you must present yourself that you are the man or the woman for the job, okay, that you can handle everything, that you can fix everything, and you can, by the way. That said, especially in your business, especially in your career, that is the month and a half where you must present yourself as the most reliable, consistent, structured, and crisis managing person you have ever been. Which means that that is the time to get your hands dirty with one or another thing, right? It's the time to make the tough calls. That is the time to shine and to show that you can be a leader. But other than that, like I said, it is the moment where it's all going to become clear for you. All right, next, that will be Scorpio. It's not the scale of justice, Sean. It's the scales of balance. Justice is served with a sword, not with scales. Ace of Swords for Scorpio as well. It is the Page of Swords. It is the Page of Wands. These three cards. And I believe Temida holds a sword as well. She scales the balance and serves justice with the sword. Does your good balance the evil and serve justice with the swords? No, Temida, it's a deity, right? It's the same everywhere. She does have a sword as well, or she's supposed to. All right. So this is a calling with the Venus retrograde for us, Scorpio. That's a calling for a versatility in a sense of that we will start feeling the need that something new must be done in our lives, right? Like anything new, right? Anything new, and that will be a month and a half where we are going to find ourselves surprised, even by ourselves, that is, with things we're going to come up with about new experiences, about new enterprises, new undertakings, and generally people that see us from a side, they wouldn't be able to recognize us, right? They wouldn't be able to recognize, because we're going to take part into things that we never did before. If I have to give you an example with myself, I may start drinking alcohol, for example, something I never did in my life, but it is something new that I never tried, and a bunch of other things that I never tried. For example, I hate hiking, all right, so that could be something I can start doing. I hate socializing in packs of more than 3 people, so I may start going into these mass parties, you know, and it's just these things you never did, right? So that is going to be the calling of Venus retrograde for Scorpio. And people that know us well, they are not going to understand, they're not going to fathom it, they're not going to understand it, they're not going to be happy about it. And that will provoke certain, well, commotion is pretty much a reach here, but definitely will provoke arguments and wrangles as well with these individuals. So best is not to feed them, because they're going to be pointless. We need the newness, we need the versatility. They can't fathom it, so it's going to be a lose-lose situation if we maintain and keep the fight and the opposition here. But it is in the general sense of the understanding, this period Venus retrograde for Scorpio should be really good, right? Because it will revitalize and rejuvenate our day-to-day routine and in our life as well in general, personally. Right, next. Oops. That will be Sagittarius. Six of Wands. The Sun. And the Magician. There isn't much to be said about these cards. It's pretty simple interpretation here. Okay, pretty simple interpretation. And the interpretation is that we are going to be rewarded. I'm so glad I have a strong stellium in Sagittarius, so I can kind of like attach myself to Sagittarius's reading here. Yeah, rewards basically. Venus retrograde is going to be a transit for you, for us. Okay, that will be basically suffused with us being receiving recognition and rewards, which can I put it into words? Well, whichever way it is, okay, it will expand our connections and as well our social interactions also. So if right now, you know, you're not under the spotlight, you know very few people, let's say that you have moved places recently and you don't know much anyone where you live currently, well, that will change drastically in a couple of months, right? But other than that, in your business especially, with ease, you don't have to kind of like push yourself too much. Huge rewards of about for your effort. Definitely in your side, in your view, Sagittarius, it will feel like you are doubly paid for your effort. But bear in mind that what is easy for you to be accomplished for someone could be extremely hard, and vice versa as well. And what I forgot to mention is that based on all that, you are going to exit that transit with much more established sovereignty than before, and your word is going to be heard from more people and acknowledged as well from more people than before. And this month and a half, from 22nd of July to the 3rd of September, is an excellent month for you to make friends. Excellent month for you to make friends, or a time rather, because it's a month and a half. All right, next, Capricorn. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles. You can't win me over with that, Taco. I do like things with flour in them. Bready things. Okay, bready things. Like burgers, like pizza, and whatnot. These healthy kind of dinners, no, thank you. All right, so Capricorn, well, when Venus gets retrograde, and I do excuse me about my language, guys, but you know, you do have probably right now, well, everybody does have, okay, things that you may feel poignant about, not may, you do feel poignant about, right? Maybe hurt. And when Venus goes retrograde, is going to be the moment like, fuck it. You know, fuck it. I have no time anymore to kind of like wane away for that person or for that lost opportunity, right? Or for that the job is not going well. It's just if what I have to give, it is not wanted by the person X or by that place I'm working at or by the business or by the client, whatever the case, right? I'm just going to give it somewhere else. Simple as that. And Venus retrograde will be the moment where you will be accepted, for a lack of better expression, you know, that something or someone else will show up in that time frame of a month and a half. So what you have to give will be received one way or the other. Okay. Hello, Yalabi. It's going to be a great it's going to be a great transit for you, Capricorn. Next, Aquarius. Ten of Cups. Justice. And it is the Five of Cups. These three cards. Give me a moment, guys. Uh, Venus retrograde for you will be the transit of abundance. Not because you're going to gain much, but because you will see that you do have enough. I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay. And that will be the period of time where you are going to overcome disappointments over obviously disappointing situations, or rather like a bad feelings, because you are finding yourself in a non-ideal situation in one or another thing. It is going to be a transit that's you would see that There couldn't be a better way about it. And also, what's going to happen due to the Venus retrograde, it is that quite of a few of your responsibilities that are putting tension and strains on your character, on your personality, on the time you are giving for yourself are going to drop off. So you're definitely going to feel how the news is widening up around your neck, and now you can freaking breathe. Okay, you can breathe, you can plan, you can actually enjoy stuff around for now. But it will be a moment where you will realize, or rather like period of time where you will realize how many blessings you do have. You're going to count them and you will see that you are actually a rich person, a very, very rich person on blessings, that is. And the final star sign we have, that is Pisces. Knight of Swords, King of Wands, Temperance. Right, so I do believe, or maybe there was another star sign, but probably the only truly active sign, or where Venus, when becomes retrograding, is it's activating, right? The initiative within the star sign is going to be Pisces. What those cards are showing are very decisive actions, or rather like a very determined decisions that are going to be made. Pisces are going to make that are regarding their ambitious drive, right? So for example, if you do have the ambition to be really successful in the line of business you do, then you can expect to make a solid choices, solid decisions within this time frame of a month and a half after the 22nd of July. And those choices that you are going to make are going to be very, if not brilliant, very close to brilliant, because kind of like I would say that way, the risk that these choices are going to carry on is going to be minimal. And on top of that, anyone who disagrees with you wouldn't be able to find even a shred of argument to fight you over, because even if they do not agree, that it's just the productiveness of your decisions and your actions as well is going to be freaking undeniable, right? And therefore that will be even, if people, like I said, they do not agree with you, they still are going to be compelled to cooperate with you in to one or another or another extent. And if that sounds very busy, okay, it won't be. You won't be that busy not to have time for yourself, because for what it seems here, you will also gonna have a really, really nice time enjoying yourself with what you like to do, enjoying life as you see fit. So it seems that you will be the blessed child of the transit here, Pisces, of the Venus retrograde. I do hope you do enjoy your time under the retrograding planet. So that was for the 12th, and now moving for the super chat. Give me a minute, just here to sort myself out. And then the first one that is gonna have her reading, that is Yasmin. You're welcome, Naomi. Jen, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Jen. All right. Those other cards. Okay. Yasmin. Well, there are gonna be things you would really gonna want throughout the transit. And other things, I mean, truly gainful enterprises for you to chase. Every single one of them is gonna cost you, though. Okay? And one of them is gonna cost you a partnership. I don't know if it is a romantic partnership or a business partnership, but it's gonna cost you partnership. So how can you avoid that? Well, it's about how much you can extend your reach, right? How much you are allowed to get away with, and how much you trust people around you. Because also, your trust is, how can I put it into words? Is put under the sword in the sense of that there is a strong danger here that you may trust the wrong people. Whatever you entrust them with, kind of like leaves the safe place. You end up being humiliated and you end up being abandoned. Abandoned. So it's a tough transit for you, Venus retrograde, Yasmin. On another hand, though, if you are determined to reach your target at all cost, at any cost, you will. All right. So you need to find this fine equilibrium in between, how much you can allow to get away with and how much you can get in return for that. How much you can accomplish with such a with such an attitude here, because otherwise it's gonna cost you a lot. Okay, Alvi, I'm gonna tell you a love story. Thank you for the 1999 US dollars, and as well, Anna, thank you for the 20. Thank you. All right, Rocky. Well, that's just only one transit. There are dozens of them, all right? So how strong that is going to affect you, it's another matter. All right, Rocky, that's transit for you, Venus retrograde. Those are your cards. Let me see if you can see them. Okay. So those are your cards. Actually, it's gonna give you a second go or another try, for lack of better words, which is not a second chance, mind you, right? The whole thing, whether it's another try on a business, whether it's another try in relationship, right, in love life, whether it's another try in friendship, whatever another try is, it does require to be a different try from before. You can't expect, sometimes it works out, right, because you haven't done it proper before, you know, doing it the same thing, and this time around works, but it's not going to work with you that way. Now it does require a completely different approach from your behalf, and it's about yeah, it's about partnership. There is another person as well involved, so that is going to be your grand accomplishment, or rather like the bulk of the work for you that needs to be done, that needs to be established throughout uh, Venus retrograde. Okay. And it's as simple as that. The person, though, it's very clever, so be careful. Okay, very clever person whom it's quite touchy, even if it doesn't show that on the surface. Meaning that you may say things that are gonna make them mad, but they're not gonna show it. And at some point, it could just, you know, blow in your face. All right, Taco. Let's check on your message. Those are cards for you, Taco. Hold on a second. Something you would have, I think it's something you waited for a very, very long time. These are opportunities to make money. Okay, these are opportunities to make money. That's what Venus retrograde is gonna bring for you. Well, to make or to well, it's not make, it's gain. All right, it's gain money. I believe there is a slight difference in between the two cards, because making money kind of implies you working. Gaining money could be through working, but could be through, for example, lottery. It could be through some kind of a deal. It could be through some kind of a scheme, you know. But that will be a transit where you are going to gain money out of more elaborate sources, for a lack of better expression here. Okay, and they are going to be your money, not our money. They are going to be your money, which by the way had been delayed. So it's that's your message. I hope you like it. I do. All right, Jen Larry next. Jen, those are your cards. We do have 3 major arcana, obviously super important transit for you, super uneventful. Okay, it's gonna come and go. You wouldn't even feel it in a sense of anything major happening, but it is. It's happening on its own accord. And what is happening, it is that, hold on a second. What is happening, it is that the unavailable options that you thought available are going to pretty much drop off. Okay, so what you're going to be left off with, it's the only accomplishable, how can I put it into words? Let's put it that way, only accomplishable dreams of yours that you can chase pretty much afterwards. And also throughout the transit, certain things which troubles you that you can't do anything about are going to resolve themselves on their own accord. And the result of all that, Jen, is going to be that you will settle. You will settle on a job, you will settle on a place, you will settle on a love, for example. You will settle on something that will carry you on for a very, very long time, maybe a lifetime as well. And that is why it's a very, very important transit and cycle. And also what is very possible, almost inevitable here for you, Jen, is that you will decide to leave in the past another aspect of your life. It could be, again, a love, it could be a kind of business idea, but it will be replaced with one that can work out. All right, Yada Be Magic wants a love story. That is for the Venus retrograde, bear in mind, not for your lifetime, Yarabi. Those are the cards of your love story. These cards show a lot of attraction, a lot of physical, how can I put it into words, physical appeal, and very little of emotions in love, right? So the story goes that you may fall head over heels, but not because of attitude, not because of kindness, but because of a physical appeal of someone, and that may betray you. I'm saying may betray you if you are not careful, right? The story goes that you can only succeed into your love life if the person you choose to be with is someone who serves a purpose, other than kind of like be a boyfriend of a sort or a girlfriend based on your preferences, right? Depending on your preferences. But it needs to serve another purpose. It needs to serve a practical purpose in your life. Otherwise, you will end up being hurt. Emotionally, that is. Anna. I don't know. These are your cards. So Venus retrograde is going to make you understand that what holds you back is partnership, a particular partnership. It could be a partnership of employer-employee. It could be a romantic partnership. It could be business partnership. Some kind of a partnership is holding you back, and this partnership will end. You will put an end to it, having no regret. Right? And from there, the life will cherish and is going to be nurtured. In fact, you will feel like you have done something colossal. You will feel like you have completed a phase, successfully completed a phase of your life, and then moving to the next. It's not even a chapter, it's more of a next level, okay, of having a good life, because that's what you're gonna have. It's just that partnership must end for what those cards are showing, and that will happen in the Venus retrograde. So it's give or take 2 months, okay, within the time frame of the next 2 months. Just don't mourn about it, okay? Well, gotta be, if more women were like you, that it would be a perfect world, should be told. Because, or not just only women, people in general. Because, people search for love more than anything else. And then they are surprised when they end up, being emotionally hurt. It's just, that's what love does, guys. I mean, no matter, how, well, that's the thing. Love is always doomed to end in tragedy. Even if they do us apart, it's what it does, right? One of you dies and it's a tragedy for the other. So you fall in love, you are doomed to suffer. That's the truth, okay? And pretty much, if you are able to look at practically on it, would be much easier and better. Sean, let's see what Venus retrograde is going to bring for you, mate. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You don't get to understand your future. You can know it, but you do not get to understand it. It will come to you, right? It will come to you, Anna. It will be the one who doesn't feel like a partnership anymore. It feels more like a strain, all right? So neither do I, all right? Neither do I. All right, I'm going to tell it in another way, and you ain't going to have any choice in it. You're not going to have any say into it, okay? But to break it. Well, that's a tough read, Sean. Not because it's bad, but because I just don't know how to explain it. These are your cards, mate. Eight of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles, okay? These are your cards, and it seems that Venus retrograde is going to be a slow transit for you. Slow in a sense of that there isn't going to be much things exterior, peripheral, that is going to happen about, okay? That doesn't say that it's going to be completely dry. It's just there ain't going to be crazy flow of them either. And that is going to give you the incentive to look inwards, potentials, okay, potentials that you just don't have the time to explore, potentials that you don't have the time to examine and to try out. And that's what Venus retrograde is going to be for you, mate, to be to look inwards with a bigger conscientiousness than now, and start recognizing stuff that you can do better, right? For example, you said that you are number one. That's why Sherry did 1111 US dollars, right? Well, you may try to be how it's called, one on second, in a sense of one with a second on it, on top of it. We're calling it here one on a second. When you do have three, you call it one in the third, one in the fourth, okay? But I believe in English you call it in another way. I just forgot how it's called. But you can try to be more than the one, right? You should try to be the unique one, right? And with many other things, it could affect your business as well, where you may be scattered among many things. And now in Venus retrograde, you will have enough time to try to be better into one particular thing. It is just a transit where in what you already have, you will become better in it, doing almost perfectly, if not entirely perfectly. Well, Jen, your reading already had been made, so you can rewind and listen to it. I'll try to say it in another way, John. Not John, but Sean. I'm sorry. Is that you have no reason to look any further in order to kind of like feel at home. All right, next, Sherry. You're welcome. Sherry, those are the cards. Venus retrograde is gonna show you the future in a certain way. Let me try to tell you what I mean. In Venus retrograde, you may sign, say, a 10-year contract with someone or with something, with an entity. And that is your future, right? So for something very established we're talking about, that's just the first thing that came to my mind. So Venus retrograde is going to show you the future, the certainty of your future. And you're going to freaking love it. I can't say it's going to be everything you have ever wanted, but you're definitely going to have any complaints about it. All right, that's what the transit is going to be. I will try to tell you what's most likely that thing is going to be. Hold on a second. I can't. It doesn't show. It doesn't show, Sherry. So probably it's more than one thing. It could be cumulative of all of your endeavors. But Venus retrograde is going to be an amazing transit for you. All right, and last but not least, News Devon, which inquires for the coming week. Well, hopefully it comes true. Uh, it's definitely something new, though. It's a news Devon. It's a news that relates to a man, okay, which is gonna be there to stay, right? This news is gonna be highly disapproved by the people that are around you, highly disapproved. But you, on another hand, you will feel light, like a feather, right? Free, liberated, amused by it. So that's what's coming. It's some kind of a news, right? Some kind of emotion that again involves a man in it, and that this man is there to stay, right? It's rather here to stay. And yeah, I mean, that's going to provoke a new, how can I put it into words, a new flow in your life, whether that's a business flow where you can do business with that life, with that man, but that's a love flow where you can make love with that man, whatever the case, right? But it's a new cooperation. What cooperation? I can't say, but that's what's coming for you, news of all. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we're gonna see each other next time, I hope. Until then, bye.